Hey gems, welcome back to my channel. Is your girl Mel here. So today I am bringing you a makeup transformation that I did on my cousin. We did a video that was posted last week, a girl chit chat, so make sure to check it out. I'll leave the link somewhere so you can just click it and watch. But yeah, jumping right into what I'm doing, I'm starting to fill in her brows. So I just draw the bottom part, the top part, and then I just fill in the middle. I wanted her brows to be a bit more natural, so I was lightly filling them out. Now that I'm done filling in her brows, I'm gonna clean up the bottom part, and this time I used the Juvia's Place foundation Kampala, and I think I mixed it with the concealer 10 from Juvia's Place, and the top part I cleaned it up with the Juvia's Place foundation Gabon. So I'm just slowly cleaning them up. Like, her brows were not done, so I had it was a bit of a struggle for me, honestly, but I made it work. Okay, I made it work. Okay, now that I'm done cleaning up the brows, I'm gonna go ahead and lay the concealer on her eyelid. So I use the Juvia's Place foundation Kampala and the concealer 10, and I just apply it all over a lid. I use a good amount of it because I wanted the lid to be completely covered. Alright, and then I took like a fluffy brush and I started tapping the product in so it could kind of set by itself, because we're not going to set it with powder. I'm only using eyeshadow. I'm going on it directly with eyeshadow. I hope that makes sense, but I always do this. So yeah, I'm using that fluffy brush to blend out all the concealer everywhere so it could look natural when I apply foundation. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So guys, I'm using the Playing by Makeup Yolondo No Limitation palette. I've been obsessed with this palette. Like, it is so pigmented, and I'm starting out with a pink eyeshadow that I'm applying directly in her crease, as you can see, and on top of that I went in with a purple eyeshadow from that same palette, and I make sure to blend it out. And yeah, after the purple shade, I'm gonna apply light yellow up there, and this yellow was actually from the Crayon case palette. I'm gonna leave the name in the description box. And I just went back and forth, applied more of the pink, more of the purple, more of the yellow, to just make sure that they're blended and the colors still show. So that's what I did. It takes a lot of blending. Okay. Okay, now we have reached my favorite part of the video. It is time to cut the crease. So I'm doing my like rounded cut crease. If you are new here, if you're not new here, then you've probably seen me do that a lot like last year, but it's hard for me to do that on myself, so I like to do it on other people, on clients and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a very like rounded cut crease, and I absolutely love it. So I'm just cutting it, you know, small by small. I'm just gonna let you guys watch because I feel like it's very self-explanatory. But make sure that the brush that you're using to cut the crease is flat enough, okay? So yeah, after that I noticed that I took this one a bit too high, so I went ahead with a smaller brush. I cleaned it up, there was no product on it, and I started, you know, diminishing basically the cut crease because it was too big. It was bigger than the other eye. Alright, and now I'm just making sure that I perfect it. I go in with a little bit of concealer and, you know, on my brush, and I just tap it in, tap it in. Now that I'm done, I didn't want the crease to be like a perfect cut crease. I want it to be like smoked out on the edges, so I went ahead and I used my fingers to just tap the concealer that was there for it to blend with the eyeshadow that was already placed there before I go in and place some more eyeshadow. And that's gonna avoid me having like a line in my eyeshadow or like my eyeshadow not blending. So yeah, I went in with like a black brown basically shade from the Plain by Makeup Yolondo palette, and then next to it I applied some of the purple and a little bit of pink. Now I'm just making sure to tap the concealer in so it sets by itself, and I also use just a tiny bit of powder. So whenever I'm setting my cut creases, I like to use an a no color powder. So I use the no color powder by RMCA. It's basically like a white powder. It doesn't leave any color on the eye, so I like to use that. And now I just applied a liner, and I didn't want to take it all the way. I didn't want to be like a full liner, so at the edges I went back and applied a bit of that black brown mixed with the purple and smoke that area out, and also like blended it with the liner, with the eyeliner, so it doesn't look weird. And now I'm applying a bit of my Glitz Fix from J La Rue Cosmetics, because this green eyeshadow that I'm applying has glitters. It's like a matte eyeshadow with a bit of glitz in it, so I did want the glitters to pop a little bit, just a little bit. So yeah, I applied it so it could stick and pop. And now I'm using a pigment from Peaches Makeup. I don't remember the name, but I'll find out certainly, and I will put it in the description box. And yeah, we are done on the eye. I just have to apply mascara and put on lashes. So before going to do anything else on her face, I wanted to remove any residue that from the any fallout from the eyeshadow. And I applied her lashes off camera because I wasn't at a good angle, so I didn't want you guys to just be watching basically nothing. And now I am priming her face with the First Aid makeup primer. I've used it before. I'll leave the exact name in the description box. And I applied it generously on her whole face because it's summer right now, and this primer is a mattifying primer, and I knew that we had another video to film, so I wanted our makeup to still be on point. Alright, so yeah. And now I went in with the Juvia Space Foundation Tanzania, and I applied it all over her face. I'm not sure, did I use Tanzania or Gabon? It's one of the two, but I always double check and I'll let you guys know. And I make sure to get under her eyes because we are not I do not color correct, like I've said before. Foundation is my color corrector, so I'll make sure that it covers the under eye. Alright, before I go in and apply concealer. I don't know why this girl was laughing. I don't even know what we were talking about, but she was doing a lot of laughing in this video. Anyway. Y'all see how this foundation is blended and how it looks under her eyes like it's already highlighted, but it's not. Baby girl. So now I am actually highlighting her face using the Juvia's Place foundation in Kampala, and I mix it with a little bit of the concealer in 10, and I'm applying it also generously under her eyes. And yeah, and I'm gonna use the same fluffy brush that I used earlier to blend under the eyes, and I'll go back and forth between that brush and the foundation brush so that even though it's highlighted, everything is blended together. There is no line of demarcation and it doesn't look weird. Okay, you guys will see what I mean. So to do a little bit more blending around the nose, I switched to a beauty blender. So that's why my hands are wet, because I went to wet it. So excuse that. When I'm done with that, I'm now going to snatch her face. I'm going to contour, but as you can already see, like, I use foundation as a base for my contouring, so it already looks like she's contoured, so I don't have to do too much. So I'm using my black opal foundation and black walnut to contour, and yeah, I'm just applying it, and I'm gonna blend it with the concealer as well. As you can see, I'm not using a lot. Now that I'm done applying and blending her contour, I start setting the highlighted areas of her face with the AC Cosmetics powder in the shade Deep Beige, and on top of that I went in with SACHA Buttercup. and just applied a little bit of it and stuff like that. Make sure I press it in her skin as well before I go in with a little bit more. So I do not bake. So after leaving the powders on for a little while, I go in with, my brush, and I just press it in. And if I feel like it needs a little bit of dusting, I dust. But mostly I press the powder into the skin instead of baking. Like, I do not like to bake. And now I am setting her contour with powder, and I'm spraying her face with the Urban Decay All Nighter. Okay, this is one of my favorite like setting sprays. So guys, now that I'm done setting her contour, I'm gonna apply blush from the Smashbox palette. It's a palette with like lipsticks, blushes, eyeshadows, contour shades, and all of that. And I applied the blush Vodka Cran. And now I'm gonna highlight her face. I'll leave all the details to the highlighters that were used in the description box. And yeah, we are almost done on this look. So I spray her face one more time with my Morphe luminous spray, and I'm gonna smoke out a little bit her bottom lashes. I'm applying the same green that I applied earlier on the eyelid, and yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna apply mascara as well to her bottom lashes before moving to the lips. I think homegirl was feeling herself a bit too much at this point, because I don't know why the face. But yeah, we are done with this makeup look. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next one. Deuces.